You'd think a marriage proposal would be a moment of joy, right? But in this case, it turned into a complete disaster, and she had no one to blame but herself. From the setup to the shocking reaction, this proposal went from sweet to chaotic in seconds. Let's break down exactly how it all unraveled.
Oh no. I felt like something we. Well, the. What the?
So this guy did all this work to be creative, and watch how she handled it.
That's.
It is really painful to put in so much effort only to be made fun of.
Mary? What? Okay. JK. It's a JK. Go to Carly. That's a we asked.
Well, I'm out, man.
No, I'll say it.
I really wonder how this guy felt. Personally, it's hard when I do a good deed and get disrespected in return. It's one of the worst feelings to experience as a man.
Okay.
What? Was that you?
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that it ended before it started.
I'm really sorry.
I wonder if the relationship continued after this. Are you proposing? Not anymore. She got rid of his problems for him. That's so nice of her.
Did all this for my girlfriend, and she said no. So, I guess it's over.
I'll say that.
This guy proposed to his girl after giving her gifts, and she just stood there like she was watching an alien dance. You can see how she froze, not knowing what to do next. I have no idea why she kept going back and forth, staring with no reaction. It's like all the logic left her at once.
What the hell is even that?
No one saw this coming. Let's hope this guy learns not to give gifts to just anyone again.
Present to me compelling and convincing arguments why I or other men should get married.
I think the first thing that came to mind is that how serious a real man is. A real man who stands on his word. You stand on your word, you stand on what you do in life, and you say, hey, you're the one I want, and I want to live the rest of my life with you, and I don't want anybody else.
Why do I need a marriage for that?
But
Why do I need a marriage for that?
If you're saying that, prove it. Show with by your actions you have the action to put my hand in wedlock.
Oh, hell no.
What's the fun in doing that? We're better alone in this case.
In a commitment.
Okay, let's assume the man says, you're the one that I want forever. They think that you're great. You're the greatest ever. I want to only be with you for the rest of my life, and I want to commit to that. Will you commit to give him a prenup so that if you divorce him, you get nothing?
No, I don't agree with someone signing into marriage and not getting anything. We both put in work and you just leave the marriage with nothing. I don't think that's fair.
Exactly. It's not fair to take someone's hard-earned money like that.
Well, that's really quite the strange argument then to say, well, wait, I expect this lifetime commitment from you in order to prove and demonstrate that you love me. Where's the demonstration of love from you?
I want
well,
you to
couldn't
commit to
you
me.
demonstrate
I love you.
that
I want you to commit to me.
It's going to take more than that to prove the point.
Why is it okay for women to say that they want to date millionaires, but if men say they want to date size 2s, they're considered shallow or misogynistic? And if you're mad that I'm asking this question, I definitely want you to answer it.
Good question. You should ask him that when we get there.
What do you look for in a man physically?
This one is insane, and it shows how the standards have drastically changed over the years.
Well, I like a man to be bigger than me and to have a strong character. Somebody who has a stronger character than I have.
Does he have to be a man with great big muscles and
No.
great big thighs and legs?
No, I don't like a man who's too preoccupied with his own masculinity.
What about skinny fellas?
Skinny fellas are okay, depending on their character.
Well, I'm very attracted to men who are able to sing and play music, interested in music and singing.
It was a simple time when people had simple expectations, and social media didn't cloud their judgment.
Do they have to be physically big men?
Oh, no, not necessarily. No, I like the people who are slim and trim.
That's what I'm talking about.
What do you look for in a man when you want to find him attractive?
Well, I like a well-proportioned man.
Does he have to be a fella with a lot of muscle?
Oh no, I find those muscular men rather revolting to look at. You know, these fellows all muscles now.
What do you look for then in a man?
Well, Carl, I don't go out with a specific idea in mind.
Notice the way they talked. It was classy and elegant, and most of all, appropriate with a rich vocabulary.
But I do find that I think certain people are attractive, and they're usually fairly slim and athletic type people. But they're not enormous, big, sort of Apollo-type specimens of humanity, which I find rather disgusting.
Personality, and I make sure he's not a okay.
So, like, what would be a like what actions would
if he can't fight, I don't want him. If he can't throw a punch,
so you have to be a fighter.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
All right, okay.
Don't cheat on me. I've had that problem before. I will beat your ass.
Most people who use a lot of inappropriate terms are the ones who don't read much.
So loyalty.
Loyalty, trust. Take me out on cute dates. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Maybe a McDonald's date, some flowers.
You would like that?
I love it. Maybe a picnic. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive at all. Tall, because I don't care about appearances.
You're tall? How tall are you?
5'8".
7'10".
5'8"?
Oh, sorry, you.
5'10".
They have to be respectful.
You think? Am I violent or no?
They have like you're too I'm sorry, you're too short for me.
What the is this piece of?
The changes that happened during these years are incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, at least I'd be.
What do you look for in a guy?
6 feet tall and a virgin. 6 feet tall and a virgin. I don't. No.
Times don't change. We do. Sometimes it's for the best, and sometimes, sadly, for the worse.
Have you ever noticed that pretty women are much more common than handsome men? I dare you to go out and you will see that there's plenty of attractive women, but it's much more rare to see a good-looking guy. Not to get deep, but could it be because society puts way much more pressure on women to look good? Makeup, skincare, fashion, plastic surgery, some of the biggest industries out there, and they're targeted mostly towards women.
No one is ever pressured to do anything against their will. We always have a choice in the end.
Men, on the other hand, they've realized they can simply just rely on natural charm, humor, money, or simply just vibes. And society lets them. Women will take them anyways. So, is it really easier to find a pretty woman, or do women just put in more effort?
Men settle because they don't have standards, but it goes much deeper than that.
Oh yeah? How much deeper into the chasm of BS do we need to go? Let's find out.
Why are men more willing to settle into relationships with women that don't meet their standards?
Wait, I thought men didn't have standards. Which one is it?
Why do they lie about who they are? Why do they pretend to be stuff that they're not to get women that they really don't like?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I mean, you could honestly ask the same question of women, but that's not the topic of conversation here, is it?
And the answer is super simple.
So then, let's hear it.
There are more benefits for a man in a relationship with a woman.
It's the complete opposite if you think about it. Spending money on dates all the time is a living nightmare.
Than there will ever be for a woman in a relationship with a man.
Spoken like a person who unfortunately seems to view relationships as strictly transactional, which unfortunately is ever increasing in popularity.
You used to hear all the time, people don't fall in love with you, they fall in love with how you treat them. But for men, they fall in love with the benefits package that they get from having a woman.
What the f going on here? No, they don't. But by all means, continue projecting one's own seeming personal experiences into everyone else's relationships.
They will literally lie and pretend to be whoever they need to be to get said woman to start benefiting their life.
I think she got it all wrong here.
Single women have glow-ups, single men look like neglected houseplants.
Just an observation, but if those glow-ups were as successful as some want others to think that they were, there wouldn't be so many single women out there trying to keep other women single.
Telling guys that, I'm saying, yo, quit, leave girls alone, bro. First of all, you're too young. You have so much time ahead of you where you could be really qualifying yourself, getting education, developing skills, whatever, putting in work on yourself, training, all of this stuff. If you don't like how you look, change your diet and work out. That's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how to dress better, whatever. But ultimately, what do you have to offer a woman?
Always work on yourself first. Never ignore this step or skip it.
For better,
For better,
for worse,
for work,
for richer,
for richer,
for poor.
or poorer.
We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke.
To love,
Cherish, and to obey.
If I were this man, this is a wake-up call.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
But the world doesn't owe you understanding. So men don't go to women and say, accept me short, accept me broke, accept me fat. But we go to them and say, accept us ran through. That's not a fair deal.
Life doesn't owe us anything. So we need to stand up and fight for what we want.
Well, some women, a lot of women do accept men that are short and broke.
No, not if you look at the data. Not if you look at the data. Men only swipe right on, or women only swipe right on dating apps 5% of the time. 5%. On the high end, 20%. Women do not accept, and that's the number one place that people are meeting today.
Not accepting anything and being too picky will only result in being alone.
So women we do not accept men that are short, broke, and fat. Historically, even throughout all of history, most men didn't even get to reproduce. That's a privilege.
Women are looking for financially secure men. What in exchange would be of equal value to a man?
There's probably three big primary things from the Christian perspective that we would want. I think that men essentially want peace in their home. This is a big one that people forget about all the time.
This is a true fact many forget. And they think that men seek validation, fame, or wealth. But we always prioritize peace above all.
The best way you can show a man respect is to understand and anticipate the things that he wants before he even knows that he wants them. And the way that shows respect and the way that shows that you love him is because if you can anticipate those things, he knows that you're paying attention to him very closely. So you're the focus. And then the third thing is you have to put him above your own needs and your own desires. And number three is the thing that I think women, at least in modernity, fail at the most. Women are trained from birth now how they deserve to be treated.
We just want to be heard and understood.
And men are trained from birth how they're supposed to treat women. But nobody is trained from birth for how they're supposed to treat men.
Well put, Andrew. Well put.
I am angry because you're a we were supposed to make the reservations and now people are chilling. They're full. They're chilling in the fall. And we're here in this hot weather.
I don't know much about this situation here, but all I can say is the man chose wrong.
90 degrees and look at them living their best life. It's all your fault because you said that's the way. That's the way. You were supposed to make the reservations before. Now it's time. Jesus Christ.
So basically, he wanted to wait to get a better deal. But when they got no reservation, she started to act this way.
Times, homeboy, she not gonna learn her lesson till she loses you. You gotta chunk deuces. That's the only way she gonna learn her lesson. I lost the man that treated me right. Cause you couldn't get over the trauma from these clowns you used to be with. So now a good man comes, you don't know how to treat him, but he loved you so much. He keep trying to make it work. Keep trying to make it work. Keep trying to make it work. And finally, he just got to be like, all right, girl, because there's another one coming. I bet you there's another one coming. Don't ever think you so fine, ain't another one coming. Somebody will leave you and you will be trolling 6 months from now talking about she don't even look as good as me. She don't get that man no drama either. That's why he chunk deuces to you.
Some people really know your worth the moment you're gone. So if you value yourself, stay far from toxicity.
With your fine self, fine and broken. There's a lot of vintage cars that look good in the showroom, but you can't drive it down the street. So yeah, nah, bro trying to take a road trip. Bro ain't trying to just sit in a parked car all day. That don't go nowhere. Isn't she a beauty? Nah, we don't need that trophy stuff. Take the hair off, take the lashes off, Fashion Nova off, your little waist trainer.
A man would rather have a sturdy, reliable car than a stunning one that requires extra care each time.
People always get on here and start talking about the bare minimum, but when a man gets on here and says, hey, I just want a woman to hit me up first sometimes, just so she shows me like, yeah, I'm interested too. I want you just like you want me. The responses they're getting is, why you acting sassy? Shut up. Like, why are you talking?
It's time we take our power back, brothers. Follow your heart and guts. Much love to all.
Would you date me if I was ugly?
No.
I wouldn't date you if you were broke.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I wouldn't date you if you were ugly. You wouldn't date me if I was broke.
I would date you if you were ugly, though.
Yeah.
But you can't be broke and ugly. You gotta pick one.
The thing is, like, there's a standard for guys. Like, yeah, you could be fat or whatever, which I don't respect, by the way, but you can have a lot of money. It's like the status for guys, it's money. For women, it's beauty. You just have to be pretty. You're just pretty and rich. So it works out.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you.
What do you guys think about this dynamic? Do you think they'll last?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop being mean to that man before it's too late. I don't know what this is psychologically, where like you'll be with someone that you secretly have resentment toward. If you don't truly feel strongly about that person, you don't belong in a relationship with them, and treating somebody like your rag doll is just such an awful thing to do to anybody, especially in a romantic relationship. I see so many people mistreating their partners just because they feel like they can, or they know that the other person cares about them so much that they can get away with doing that.
The partner that ends up being mistreated is often someone who's taken for granted and far kinder than they deserve.
And if you feel like that's you and you're catching yourself doing that, or taking advantage of how nice your partner is to you, or purposely being rude because you think it's funny, stop, because it's so mean. And if you feel like you have to do that to get attention from your partner, or you feel like it's your way of taking out your resentment against them, you're with the wrong person. You guys both deserve to find better people.
If your partner makes trouble just for fun, you know where the door is.
Guys always want a girl with self-respect until she asks you to change her disrespectful behavior.
Ah, yes, more generalizations about guys, based on some individuals' bad personal experiences.
Guys want a beautiful girl until they figure out that she also knows that she's beautiful.
What?
Guys want a smart girl until she disagrees with you.
If someone disagrees with solid arguments, we listen.
After hearing that, it rather makes a person wonder how exactly immature are these guys that some of these women are choosing to associate with.
Guys want a girl with boundaries until they say, bringing up that girl during Valentine's Day dinner was not appropriate.
Well, I guess that answers that question.
Guys want a girl with family values until they want to say something disrespectful about my family. Then they don't like it anymore.
If this is becoming a consistent problem with the individuals that one is choosing to date, perhaps the problem is one's choices in the men that one is choosing, not in guys in general.
Guys want a girl with high standards, but then step down as soon as you ask them to step up.
It's sad that this lady is making a generalization based on one bad experience she had.
Just a thought. But a person wouldn't have to ask a guy to step up if one's standards hadn't taken a step down.
Guys want a confident girl until they get triggered and try to humble her.
How about stop trying to date emotionally insecure men?
Guys want a girl with high emotional intelligence, but then will fail to be emotionally mature. Guys want you to be so soft, but then don't give you an environment where you feel emotionally safe enough to be soft. Guys want a strong girl until she won't let you walk all over her.
Anyone else noticing that all of the problems that have been aired so far have basically come down to an individual's choice in the person that they date?
Exactly. Our choices always have consequences.
Anytime you put boundaries or standards on female behavior, they're going to label it as insecure, toxic, misogynistic, or controlling. One more time for the guys who are listening to this. Anytime you put boundaries, standards, or on how women should behave, especially when it comes to their modesty, etc., if you put boundaries on it, they're as a man, as her man especially, they're going to say that's toxic, misogynistic, controlling, blah, blah, blah.
If you're going to set boundaries, you'd better do it at the start of the relationship. Better than trying desperately to add them later on.
But what guys need to understand is that don't follow, that's like Matrix talk. It's bull. You need to stand firm on your principles and be like, this is unacceptable. I don't commit to girls that do X, Y, Z, which is typically the behavior that she's exhibiting. And if she says, well, I'm going to do it anyway, well, you know how much respect she has for you. And then you cut the relationship.
Never compromise your beliefs for anything, because they are your true identity. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.